So this morning I was talking to a friend about business, and all the entrepreneurs and business owners out there, I know you guys will understand what I'm talking about. We were talking about some of the lows and the valleys when it comes to business ownership. In his case, and something that happened to us in insurance a few years back, it's where basically the company is making changes that you have no control over that are limiting and changing the income that you're making. And so we talked about, how to be happy and how to keep going through all that. And it got me reflecting, and it got me becoming so grateful for, some of the trials that we had been through. And I was just thinking so much about how those moments help you to grow and change. And when I was talking to him, I talked about, he asked me, what was that time like in your life? And I told him, I said, it was basically hell on earth, man. It was every day was a challenge. Every day I had something mentally. Me and my business partners had more disputes than ever because of how, tight things get financially and how hard things are at times just to keep your head above water when it comes to owning a business. But in hindsight, after we pivoted and really changed some things and figured it all out, it's what set up the path for us to become what I would consider the most successful as we've been in our journey so far. And that is coming from diversifying through a lot of different income sources, and also just gaining more skills and more network and more value to bring to the marketplace to change people's lives. So I want to ask you guys, what do you do when times get hard? Because for me, a lot of times I have to go internal. And when times get hard, that is the best time to just look inside and look at yourself and say, like, hey, what do I need to change in here? What is life trying to teach me? It doesn't always have to come 5 years later that we learn our lesson. We can learn it in the present moment now. And that's something that I continue to get better at, and I feel like it's becoming a strength of mine, but it's also come with so much pain and so much time where maybe I didn't have the best control of my thoughts, or maybe I didn't look within and I was looking for external blame, where it turns out it's always just inside of you. And also people, man. People, there are so many different people and so many different perspectives. You can either find ones you align with or look for the differences. And if you look for, if you just go after what you want and go down your path as hard as you can with no, attachment to outcome, these people, we put our expectations on people, and what we end up seeing in people is things we don't like, but those things that we don't like are things that we don't like about ourselves. So when you start feeling something about another person, it's typically just what you have going on within you that you can now then reflect, think about, work on, and get better at. And so people just always make me so humble, and they remind me to have grace, because man, as much as I would love to, continue to judge people, which the opposite of judgment is compassion, as much as I would love to continue to judge people, I find that having compassion and being open to their perspective allows me to do even more, and do even more with the time I have with them, but also to do more with my own life. So I just urge you guys, if you find yourself in a judgmental spot, try to open your mind up to being more compassionate towards another person, because even though things may, piss you off, or you don't like the way something's going, I mean, there's a lot bigger picture to where what that person's doing may be the exact thing you need to learn from, or it may be exactly what people around you need. And you're just so focused on your story, because we're our own worst critic, but we also focus so hard on our own lives when we need to let it go. You know what I mean? There's 8 billion people in the world. You're telling me that you matter the most to everyone? No, you matter the most to you. And it's good. You need to continue, mattering to you, having self-love, but it's between you and God what you do. And so allowing our expectations of other people to dictate our lives is something that I find I really lose control on and really just can't allow anymore in my life. So tell me, I mean, what do you guys go through? What's hard? It doesn't just have to be business owners and entrepreneurs. I mean, dude, this boils down to being a father. I don't know, like, kids test me more than probably anything I've ever been tested with in my life when it comes to patience. And some of the things I would have told you I was really good at, yeah, it turns out that I could get better still. So yeah, this applies to multiple parts of our lives, but it's something I think about pretty consistently. So love to hear your thoughts.